Well, praise the Lord, everybody. Praise the Lord. This is the day the Lord has made. We would like to say welcome and greetings to each and every one of you out there in radio land. And for those of you who do not know, you are tuned in live. That's right, live on this wonderful Thursday, right here on WKGM, your ministry station. For those, again, that don't know, I am your favorite pastor's favorite pastor, Pastor Rob Scarborough. Please, ladies and gentlemen, each and every one of you, get on your phones right now. I need you to cook up the best gospel that you ever heard in your entire life. Tell everybody to call somebody and tell them to tell anybody that your favorite pastor's favorite pastor is back on the air again, saying those things that the other preachers, politicians, news reporters will not preach, say, or report. Again, ladies and gentlemen, it's kind of like Star Trek radio. We go where few others dare to go. And so with that being said, please buckle your safety belt. I want to talk about a number of things. I want to also talk about what we're going to begin covering and talk about tonight in our Bible class, or some of the things that we are going to cover. I'm asking that everybody out there in radio land, please call every believer and non-believer alike. Call them up and tell them, cut this preacher on. I'm going to deal with everything under the sun you can think of in a very short time, in an hour. We're going to touch it. We also want to invite you, to call in with your questions, things that you've always wanted to ask a pastor, things you've always wanted to talk to your preacher about. We want to give you straight answers. We want to give you the real. And I'm telling you, it won't take long for you to see why this program is the most loved and hated. And at the same time, while we've received numerous letters, death threats, they've attempted to try to blackball, and I just want to just destroy even that notion, because I've created that wave, just speaking what people have tried to do, but I want to just go back and erase that in the name of Jesus and just say they can try to blackball us, but where God would have us to be and go, no power on heaven or earth can stop it in heaven or earth. And so with that being said, this is the day the Lord has made. We just want everybody to talk. We want to share with you. While I'm waiting, we want to do our portion of the hour called our check-in, that is. Pardon me, and also pardon my voice, where we take, just to hear from the people, we take your calls, we'll take your questions, subject matters you want us to touch on. If you just want to say hello, I'm listening. I get charged knowing that people are listening live. I drive all the way from Richmond, Virginia, just to be here on the air live. Then I go all the way back to Richmond. Then I come all the way back on Thursday nights to be back with you live in our class, which is held at 1570 North Military Highway, the Holiday Inn. That's 1570 North Military Highway, the Holiday Inn, where we do have a branch of Zion, if you will. We meet in your area. That's right. 1570 North Military Highway. I believe that's in Norfolk. So please, all of you all, don't forget to come out tonight, and we'll talk more about that as well. 7:30. Meet us there. Matter of fact, beat us there. So let me give you the phone lines, numbers in which you can call us live on the studio. I'm going to be mentioning some things as we head into the month of October. And as a matter of fact, today's date is the 29th. And so the next time we talk, we'll be well into October. And I think that I've been trying to figure out where we're going to go next in our Bible class. We have so many topics that people request, so many things. And I still have not 100% made that decision, but I do know that we need to lean on this radio. We need to begin to usher in a teaching on the occult, witchcraft, demonology. We need to begin to talk about these things in and out of the church, in and out of the children's toy box, in and out of the movie theaters and the televisions and the internet. I want to cover those things this month because this is a heavy month in witchcraft. I'm going to talk about some things that the demons don't want me to talk about. There are spirits that are listening to me right now in most of us. That's right, in most of you that don't want me to deal with these things. We're going to talk about a plethora of topics. Oh, my goodness, a wide variety, a comprehensive study, and I think that this would be a good time to do it. So you need to tell everybody they need to come with you starting tonight. They need to make their way out. We're going to touch on what prayer really is and some other things as well, but we want you all to understand what's really going on. Now, let's give the numbers out to the several phone lines that are available. You can call us live to tell us you're listening or whatever may be the case at 757-357 9546. Again, that is 757-357 9546 or 622-9546. So with that being said, y'all call me, let me know that you are listening. Share the news, tell everybody that we are on the air. I'm going to also make some comments. Last week I didn't get to any remarks like I really wanted to about what's going on in the government. So I'll say those things while y'all are checking in so that I don't take too much time away from the scriptural, biblical study matters at hand. But I'm going to say this, and I think this is a better time to say it than last week because we're just coming off the cusp of another presidential debate, which, by the way, is the greatest reality show on earth. You can applaud the United States corporation government for the best reality show ever created. It's better than Real Housewives. It's better than all of the other, than The Apprentice. It's better than Dancing with the Stars. It is the presidential election 2016. Ladies and gentlemen, they're playing games with y'all. Listen to me. Pardon my English. They're playing games with y'all today. So I got a lot I could say, but I don't know how many of you all saw the garbage that was put before us. I've noticed a great deal of y'all on Facebook talking about Donald Trump. And let me just say this to the preachers, especially you people of color. Okay? And for those that don't know, I am a man of color, so I'm not coming from any type of prejudice viewpoint. But I want to make it clear, especially for you ministers of color and others. You all spend a large time dumping on Donald Trump. And let me just say, he deserves every bit of it. But let me go a little further. We got calls? All right, we're going to take them just a minute. Let's take our first call, put them on hold. I'm going to come back and tell you why the church, especially the so-called black church, and I hate that expression because really there should only be one church. But for those that don't understand, for lack of better words, how you've been duped into believing that Hillary Clinton is a candidate. I'm going to touch on what happened with the debate. I'm going to touch on a few things that nobody else is going to tell you, so keep the station locked. Let's go to the phone lines, 357-9546. Caller, you're on the air.
Hey, Scarborough, this is Austin.
What's going on, sir?
What's up?
All right, how are you?
Hey, did you ever get to read that article about the UN saying that they need to pay the blacks for the slaves?
I didn't read the article, but I did.
Yeah.
I saw the title, and I'm guessing it's about reparations.
Yeah.
My thoughts on reparations are just this, or my thoughts on paying the black people, as you say, Austin. I'm one of those black people. And here are my thoughts. Pay us what you owe us. Simple as that. I'm not shy about it. This so-called country, I'm just going to be honest, this so-called country has paid everybody but the so-called Negro. Whether you want to admit it or not, and please, I'm not making this about what they call race or what have you. I'm just being honest. It doesn't matter if I'm white, green, blue, or black. Okay? I believe that every man got to love God, and every man that don't love God, and that don't love each other, or that hates each other because of the color of their skin, you don't have the love of God. So let me make that clear before I make this statement of truth. That statement of truth is every single man of color, listen to me good, You are owed certain things, and I'm going to make that clear. You can feel whatever way they want to feel about it, by this so-called government. This place was built by men's hands of color. You cannot deny that. When I say people of color, that's not just talking about the so-called black man. There are many different shades of people of color. Melanated men. I want to say this. We built this place. Every part of it. When they call black folks lazy, I say, well, that's a fine time for y'all to start saying that. After you've whipped them, worked them down to the bone, after you've enslaved the men, broken the men, raped the men, used them in the cotton fields to sweat while you were sitting in the houses drinking lemonade, now you want to call black folks lazy. Well, I'm going to be honest. I won't stand for it, and I'm going to be honest. It's just nothing but garbage. There's certain things I can show you where history will prove that they have taken care of other groups, but they have never taken care of people of color. And I'm not looking for them to do it, but since you're bringing the topic up, sir, I'm answering your question. They owe them. So pay us what you owe us. That's what I have to say about that. And let me just say this. A lot of folks have been lied to, so let me just start unplugging the lies while I'm on the radio and saying the things that nobody else is going to say, and it's the truth. Columbus didn't discover America. Duh. Okay? You can't discover something where people are already there. Next, there were melanated people of color already here in what you call America. People didn't know that. They act like all the black folks were brought in as slaves. That's not the case. There were melanated people in America. Do you know what America means? It means amare, ameri. If you look up ameri, it's talking about a Moor. It is Moorish town, Moorish land, Moors. The Moors, melanated men. So why am I telling you this? Because you need to know the history. Now, a lot of bad dealings were done by blacks and white folks. We sold ourselves and they sold us as well. I just tell the truth. But one of the things that need to be said is that this country owes people of color, and they owe them for their service. We fought in wars and died in wars. There wasn't a war that did not benefit us in any way, shape, or form. There is no such thing as freedom at all. Okay? There is no such thing as freedom. That's what it's called, freedom. Get it? Freedom. And I'm telling you today that all you have in this country is called liberty. And you'll say, well, what's the difference? Most of you all think liberty is the same thing as freedom. It is not. Liberty is a sailor's term. Liberty means you do what we say you can do as you are regulated. Freedom says I do what I want to do because I'm a living, breathing man, a human being. And what people don't understand is you don't have freedom in the United States. You have liberty. That's why the Statue of Liberty sits in water, because you're under something called maritime admiralty, the law of water. Now, I'm not going to get into all of that, but I just want to let you know, to answer your question, since you brought it up, sir, yes, there's a lot that this place owes people of color. Our contribution is undeniable. The inventions are undeniable. Our educated guests that became landmarks are undeniable. And I'll just leave that at that, because that brings me to what this thing is about. What you all need to do is you need to come out. You need to go to my website, PastorRobScarborough.com. You need to download the series called Unplugged. You need to start looking and combing through those series, PastorRobScarborough.com. And as you comb through those series, you'll see me. I've done many teachings on what this country really is. First of all, let me correct myself. This is not a country. I might as well get y'all to thinking today. Y'all can get mad all you want, but I guarantee you no one will be able to challenge. You do not live in a country. America is no longer what you are a part of. You are not Americans. You are part of the United States. And part of the issues that people do not, that people have and they don't understand is that there's a difference between the United States and America. You say, huh? Oh, come on, be honest. You thought they were the same thing. I did too. They are not. That's why it's called the United States of America. Because America was a landmass. America is a land structure. It's a landmass. But the United States is a corporation that was started on that soil. And the United States is a company or a corporation. That corporation, ladies and gentlemen, is what the people are held enslaved to or captive to right now. A lot of you all didn't know that. So when you look at the flag, everybody's talking about Colin Kaepernick. I'm going to spend about 5 or 10 more minutes talking about this and I'll leave it alone. Everybody's talking about Colin Kaepernick, the football player that refused to stand for the national anthem. Well, that's no surprise. Listen to me. I have a 9-year-old son. I told him a long time ago, you don't have to be rude or cause a scene, but when they say the Pledge of Allegiance, you better not say it. I teach my son never to say the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay, y'all didn't hear me. You say, why would you do that? Some of y'all getting mad with me already. Listen to me. If you are a believer in Jesus the Christ, first of all, how could you pledge allegiance to anything when allegiance means to give your all? You should never give your all to anything outside of God. Number 2, look what you're pledging to. You're pledging to a flag that represents abortion. You're pledging to a flag that represents murder by the numbers, mass murder, bloodshed, innocent bloodshed. You're pledging to Planned Parenthood. You're pledging to enslavement. You're pledging to mass murder of a people. You're pledging to a same-sex marriage. Guess what, ladies and gentlemen? I'm sorry. I can't pledge to that. I can't do it. Y'all can talk about being patriotic and this, that, and the third. I can't pledge. I can't stand and observe. I can't give reverence or respect to anything that represents that which offends my God, number 1. So, for those that don't stand, I salute you. That's just the truth that you all don't want to face. When everybody was fussing about the Confederate flag, I said, why are y'all fussing? Let them put the Confederate flags on the back of the truck, riding around with the big rebel sign. Let them do it. Who cares? That flag didn't do anything compared to what the United States flag has done to us, or what has been done under that flag. So I could go on and on. Speaking about the presidency, it's a hoax. Let me do this quickly so I don't spend too much time. The whole idea of voting for a president is a hoax. If you watch the debate, did y'all notice? I don't know, engineer, did you see the debate? Did you notice they were wearing opposite colors? Now, a lot of y'all didn't notice that. But I want you to understand that that's telling you already what I've been telling you. The opposite colors, why couldn't they wear opposite colors? Because they're the same people anyway. I keep telling you, they are the same people. You got a right wing, you got a left wing, but they're both on the same bird. And both wings are connected to the same brain, which tells those wings when to flap. Now, the election is a hoax. I could go on and on, but I'm going to just drop this knowledge, and you should check behind me to see if what I'm saying is true. Every president is related. That's not a conspiracy theory. Go research it. All the presidents are related. All of them are bloodline connected. Even the black one you think that you call Barack Obama. Yeah, I hate to tell you, he's part of the family. Okay? And I want you to understand that should tell you one thing. So you got to connect the dots. That when you tell your children you can grow up and be the president, you lied. Don't tell them to work really hard and one day they could be the president. That's a lie. It's clear to see that the presidents have already been selected, and then from whom they have selected, they tell you you get to elect. I could go on and on about what was talked about. They were talking about ISIS. Did y'all hear them arguing about, I think everybody was down because Donald Trump says his plan to fight ISIS is secret. And Hillary says she has a plan on the internet. Pardon I love y'all, but can I just be real as if I was talking to my family? Stop being dumb. First of all, ISIS doesn't exist. Wow, did I just say that? It doesn't exist. Just like Al-Qaeda. Did y'all hear what I just said? Just like the weapons of mass destruction and every other excuse that the United States uses to go invade and tear up the Middle East. If you want to know who the founding fathers of ISIS are, go get George Bush. Charge him for war crimes. Go get the Clintons. Go get the Reagans. Go get them. Go get the forefathers. They are the creators of ISIS. Y'all better wake up. Did you know they say if you want to join ISIS, you go on the internet online and fill out an application? And you mean to tell me we got technology that can spot an ant on Mars, but y'all can't figure out how people can go online and sign up for ISIS? Y'all ain't figured out who ISIS is? Knock it off. There is no plan to fight ISIS. Just like they get on there and talk about the national debt every debate. How can you get rid of the national debt when every time you borrow money, there's more interest, which keeps the debt flowing? It's impossible to get rid of national debt until you get rid of the Federal Reserve bankers that caused all of this mess to begin with. Okay, I'm spending too much time talking about this stuff, but I'm telling you, my people are destroyed because of a lack of knowledge. Wake up, wake up, wake up. It's a joke. Then they talked about the birth certificate. Now Donald Trump is backing off the birth certificate. Now some of y'all saying, see, I told you he didn't have. No, let me just help y'all out. Donald Trump was right when he said that President Obama wasn't born here. You can go right on YouTube and see lectures when Obama was going through, not law school, going through school, where he readily admits he was born not in the United States. Donald Trump didn't lie about the president not being born here, but what Donald Trump needs to see is this. This is what he's wrong about. You don't have to be born here to be the president of the United States. You would have to be born here if it was the president of America. President Obama is not the president of America. He's the president of the United States. The United States is a privately owned corporation based out of Delaware. You got to know the key. You got to go back to Pennsylvania. Why is it called, the Penn State? They call Pennsylvania, rather, they call it a Keystone State. Why? Because you're going to get the key to how all of this began. You're going to see how important Pennsylvania is. Delaware is. I could go on and on and on, but I'm going to shut up and take some callers today. Let's see if anybody's listening. Are y'all listening out there? Am I wasting my time? Do I need to get back in my car and drive back to Richmond so that I can rest and prepare for tonight? Or are y'all ready to have a good radio program? And let's talk today. Let's find out where the people are. I still got to talk about the lies that y'all being told in church. I'm just venting about what's going on in the government. all of the staged shootings. Now they got the clowns. You've been hearing about the clowns? They got this thing where the clowns are going around and being locked up all over the country. Everybody's afraid of the clowns. Here's my question. Here's my point I want to make to all of y'all. And that's this. The clowns have been around everywhere I look. Listen to me, pardon my English. I have been looking at clowns. Why y'all scared of them now? They're in your pulpit. They're on the Congress. They're sitting on the seat of, listen to me, your president is one. Your past 43, 42 presidents have been clowns. Why are you afraid of them now? It's a distraction. Something to divert the attention from what's really going on, and they do it every time. By the way, good afternoon and welcome to the Truth of the Matter Show. 357-9546. Call me up if you're listening. I'm sorry I had to rant for a minute. I had to just vent. You probably learned more in that little rant than that's real world history right there. It's not biased. It's just real, true world history right there. If you're listening and you're enjoying this, call me. 357-9546 or 622-9546. The phone lines are mighty quiet. Maybe I've left you stunned. I'm going to give you all a few more minutes. I'm going to tell you about some of the things that I plan to talk about in October around the topic of warfare, deliverance, spiritual warfare, deliverance, exposing the occult, exposing witchcraft. These are some of the topics that we're going to cover. But before I do, I want to make sure somebody's listening, because if I'm out here in the rain all the way as far as I am from home and nobody's listening, I'm going to get up, put a CD on, get the engineer to put a CD on, I'm going to leave. I'm sorry you never heard of a radio broadcast that's quite this real, but this is the real deal. I don't have any time to play games. As a grown man of God, I cannot play any games. I can't afford to play games with our time, with this money, with our lives. If you want real raw truth, keep the station locked. If you want to play church, then just cut on Christian radio and television, and you'll get all that you signed up for. Let's try this again. Is there anybody listening? 357-9546. 357-9546 or 622-9546. Well, if nobody's going to call, nobody have anything to say, I'll just give you an itinerary of things that we're going to talk about. I'll explain to you where we're going to be tonight. I'll give you some need-to-know information, and I'll hit the road. Simple as that. I'll be here tonight for those that want to come out for real, those that really want the truth. Got a caller? Let's go to the phone lines and take them. Caller, you're on the air.
Hi, thank you for taking my call.
Welcome.
I just want to let you know I am listening, and yes, I am stunned also, even though I've had some reservations. But when it comes to, the presidency and the United States and America, yes, it is true.
Wow.
It is true. And it's a sad, sad truth, and it's a pathetic truth.
You know, one of the greatest things that people are fighting over, and they want us to fight black folks against white and white against Mexican and all these different. Let me just say this. It's not even funny, but the strangest thing, how everybody's arguing about race relations and all of this. And you know, what's amazing to me is everybody wants to call Donald Trump the racist. And I'm not saying that he isn't or that he's prejudiced. But black folks, I'm going to stand and tell you what your preacher's not going to tell you right now. Hillary Clinton, and I'll call her by her real name, Hillary Clinton, is equally, if not more, prejudiced against people of color, and nobody's talking about it. She just readily admitted that her mentor was Robert Byrd. that Robert Byrd is responsible for pouring into her her thought patterns, her ideals, so on and so forth. Yeah. Robert Byrd is a Ku Klux Klan leader. That's who he was.
Wow.
Planned Parenthood is ran, and I never can think of this lady's name, Margaret something. She's a Ku Klux Klan member. Well, Hillary Clinton is a lot more polished. She's politically correct. She has the experience of a politician, but she's nonetheless a liar, just like Donald Trump. And we fall for the one that's more polished of a liar, but you're still looking at a liar.
Right, yeah.
And so, I could go on and on about how deceived we are, how we play into the propaganda, but I hope you'll keep it locked, because we're going to switch gears if some folks will call me today, and we're going to talk about some other spiritual matters. All I ask of you is that if you have any questions, please call me back, because you're probably going to help somebody else with your honesty and with your questions. Or if you have any more comments, or if you want me to touch on a certain topic, call me back. And thank you so much for taking the time to reach out. Do you have anything now that you would like me to address?
Actually, there is something.
Okay.
I don't have it with me.
Okay.
But there is a book that you can get at the library, and it's called 10 Things Your Pastor Wants to Tell You, and then in parentheses it says, but can't because he needs his job.
Woo! I never heard of that.
This is a very interesting book. It's not very big, but you can find it in the religious section in the library. But it does go into different matters about homosexuality. Mm-hmm. It does go in about how the Bible has many like secret codes or words that the inner circle of probably the either Roman Catholic or Catholic religion has in many of the Bibles. And so they are the ones who understand a lot of the meanings. That sounds a little crazy. I can't probably explain it.
No, I've never.
But it's a very, very interesting
book.
Little book, and it does go into a lot of what certain things mean about heaven and hell, also.
Oh yeah.
And it does kind of strike, what you talk about.
Yes.
So I would suggest this little book to anyone.
Okay.
It's an easy read and very, very interesting.
Let me say this. I've never heard of the book. It sounds interesting just the title itself is grabbing. I center this whole radio ministry, really our whole ministry is based around saying things and dealing with the issues that preachers don't deal with. So I can relate in that respect. I cannot. Now, you already recommended it to the people, so that's okay. We can let that sit. But I can't recommend it because I never read it, but sounds interesting, and maybe I'll get a chance to take a look at it. But if there's any topics you would like me to touch on, let me know, and I will gladly touch on them. And there are a lot of secrets in the Bible, out the Bible, how the Bible was, everything that people don't know. And the church world is not going to tell you. And I just let it all out of the box.
Yes.
So
yes.
Be sure to let me know. And I'm very grateful that you called today. And call me back if you think of anything.
Thank you so much.
God bless you. All right, 357-9546 or 622-9546. I'm taking calls. Listen, in the month of October, it's a heavy month of Satanism and witchcraft in and outside of the church. And I'm going to tell you some things that we're going to talk about that you didn't know were highly offensive to God and that will invite demons into your life. That's what we're going to be talking about over the next month, especially, amongst other things, what have we done to invite the devil into our lives? Okay? Most of y'all don't know that your life has been destroyed by Satan, and you don't know that you invited him to do it. Got a caller? All right, we got 2. Let's take them. Caller, you're on the air. Thank you for holding.
Hello, am I next?
Yes, welcome. Yes, go right ahead.
I can't hear you.
Hello, go right ahead. I can hear you.
Okay, my name is Sean. I'm living in Cape Charles, Virginia. And I have always said that Hillary Clinton is prejudiced. That's right. And Hillary Clinton, what makes me so sad about black people, they think that the Democrats always get the black vote. Hillary Clinton wants is black people vote. And what I like about Donald Trump, he's honest. He speaks what he has on his mind. He isn't a hypocrite. He isn't deceitful. And if I was going to vote, I would vote for Donald Trump. Hillary Clinton was president for 8 years. She did nothing but made her constituents and herself and her family rich. And we must tell the truth about this thing. In my opinion, Hillary Clinton is a die-hard racist.
She is.
And that's my 3 cents.
She is, but so is Donald Trump. The only difference is Donald Trump don't mind telling you. Hillary Clinton is a quiet, deceptive liar. They both have the same problem, except one of them will let you know where he's coming from. Now, I'm going to tell you this. I agree with you, except for one thing. I wouldn't vote for neither one. But let me just tell you this. That is, I respect Donald Trump for his ability to say what he means more than Hillary, but I don't agree with everything he says by a long shot. Okay? Both of them are starch fools, if you ask me. And I'll just leave that at that. Thank you so much from Cape Charles. 357-9546, 622-9546. Let me look at the time. Okay, I'll take a couple more on this, and then I'll move on to tell you about what we're going to talk about that's spiritually affecting us and what we've been talking about in Richmond, about why we are sick. The roots to why people are sick. Okay, I'll tell you more about that, too. Caller, you're on the air.
How you doing, Pastor Rob? This brother said.
Welcome. Hello, welcome.
Hello.
Yes, go right ahead. Hello there. Welcome.
Okay, can you hear me, Pastor
Yes,
Rob?
I can hear you.
Okay, yeah. This brother said.
Yes, sir. Welcome.
Okay, look. Now you heard of restraining orders, right? That most a lot of women, girlfriends, and wives take out on their husband and the boyfriend.
Right.
Well, okay, now you just picture this, a restraining order. What they do, they take that restraining order because the guy, the husband or the boyfriend, been beating them up on the head, treating them wrong, beating the kids up, doing everything. Then eventually they come back and say, well, I forgive you or whatever, and take the restraining order off. He come back, beat her up again, do the same thing over and over. Eventually it leads to him killing her and the children. And if he's a wimp or something like that, he'll kill himself. Now, what does that remind you of? That, I look at it as the black people.
It reminds me of the black
people.
The black.
You know, that had to
yes. As a matter of fact.
All we do is go right back and get the same whooping.
Brother Sid, I actually have.
Over and over. They've been doing it for 50, 60 years.
Yes. I've actually used that same analogy, but what I call us is an abused woman. That's who we are. We're like a scorned, abused woman who keeps telling everybody that her husband is going to do better, that this time he's going to change, and he never does it. That's how I look at people of color, and you're exactly right, 100%. We've done it and done it again. They're defending President Obama. They're defending him. He's done nothing for you but mess over you, overlook you, and they defend him over and over again. I agree. Thank you so much, Brother Sid. Shout out to you and your family. 357-9546. Now, in the month of October, there's always an eruption of evil, and most of us are miserable. We're depressed. We're sick. Our children are on medicines. We're on medicines for anxiety. I'm talking to somebody right now that's on anxiety medicine. I've been doing an in-depth teaching on the roots to why we are the way we are. Did you know medical studies prove that 87% of all diseases are not because of what you eat or because of hereditary means, but they are actually because of how you feel? What that means is your emotions, how you feel, is the cause to your sickness. Now, the Bible has always taught this, but the church missed it a country mile. I have been doing an in-depth teaching that's changing the folks' life as to how the enemy have attacked our bodies through sickness. And I mean, I'm even naming the sicknesses. And I'm telling you where they root. A lot of you all suffering from high blood pressure, one of your causes is unforgiveness and hidden anger. Some of you are suffering from asthma. I put out in our teaching in Richmond, if you have children that have asthma, or even if you have asthma is rooted from fear. Did you know that fear causes asthma? Even allergies. You thought that allergies were because of what's in the air, because of airborne bacteria and different things of that nature. Allergies have been proven to not come from what's in the air, but rather to come and root from fear. You say fear? Yes. I can tell you about much, much, much more, from breast cancer to breast lumps to ovarian cancers, you name it, to fibromyalgia, you name it, there's a root. And I got 2 callers waiting. I'm going to tell you how we're going to talk about that and so many other topics. Let's take this call. Caller, you're on the air.
Hey, my question for you is, why is the election after October, which is the demonic month? Is it because they have their little get together and stuff? Or?
Well, they have a lot of rituals people don't know about. Most people don't know that all of your presidents, just about, especially Obama and then some of the others, are members of what's called the Skull and Bones or the Bohemian Owl Society. And what they do is they do all kind of demonic rituals. Yeah, you can go look it up. In a place called Bohemian Grove, amongst other places. They do a lot of this leading into the election and other things, so that may have something to do with it. Let's take this caller. 357-9546. Let's go to the phone lines.
Hello?
Yes, caller, you're on the air.
Hi, Pastor. How are you today?
Welcome. How are you?
I'm fine. I was trying to get in earlier, but the line was busy. But I just want to let you know that lady that you were talking about is Margaret Sanger.
Yes, that's her name.
She was a believer in eugenics.
Yes.
And she started something called the Negro Project before she even started Planned Parenthood. She believed that black people should be limited in their ability to reproduce and have more children. She was one of these people that believed that people who were considered imbeciles or mentally ill or not so smart or couldn't make positive contributions to society should be eliminated from society. And this is the same kind of teaching that they have taught us in school that led to what happened and what they said happened in Nazi Germany. Mm-hmm. So she started this Negro Project, and she went to these black preachers and she said, I need your help to get members of the community to come to my birth control clinic, and because my work will have more credibility, if you support me. But she believed that black people were not as smart as white people, and that they shouldn't be allowed to procreate and keep producing children who were, like she called them, imbeciles. She didn't even like Aboriginal Australians. She said that they were just one step below chimpanzees. In 1926, she went to a meeting in, I think, New Jersey with the Klan and presented all of this information to the Klan. And so if you support Planned Parenthood, you should know the origins of the organization and what it started out being. I know I don't have enough time to explain it all.
You said a whole lot because
Google Margaret Sanger.
Sanger, that's her name.
And the Negro Project. Read the Negro Project.
Because
and you will find out.
You said it much more eloquent. You said it much more eloquent and kind of detailed. But I've been telling people that Black Lives Matter and Hillary Clinton and some of these others are all about destroying population, the colored population. I say that they want to destroy the nuclear families. They want to destroy. They are afraid of something. And trust me when I tell you, this government believes that black people, they're still on the books, laws or president. They're different ideas that black people are not even whole human beings. That they are, in fact, not 100% all of a man. And with that being said, that is why and I'm telling you, our people don't know this stuff. They don't know this is going on. But thank you so much. You always bring that information, and you're right on time. I could not think of her name. I never can. Margaret Sanger. Look her up. Look up Planned Parenthood. Look up how they're depopulation efforts and what they're doing. We could go on and on and on. But
a lot of information.
But they got to start somewhere. And most people don't even know they need to look for this. So we want to get them started. They can research everything you said. I know it's true. And anything that I've said, and check behind us to see for themselves. That's what I recommend. I've always recommended that for as long as people have heard me on the radio.
That's right.
I've always told people, check behind me.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. God bless you. All right, 357-9546. I got 10 minutes. Before I left last week or so, we played a tape. And on our previous recording, there was a sister that had called me. And the sister that called me, she called me in reference to tithing and kind of was laying me out. I really don't like to entertain stuff too late. Is there anybody that have any issues with anything I've said? Now would be the time to do it. If you call me with 3 minutes, I'm just going to hang up. That way y'all won't say I'm avoiding anybody, because I'm telling you now that if you're going to accuse us of not knowing what we're talking about, give us the opportunity to have a good dialogue with you and enough time that the people can hear it as well. Caller, you're on the air, 357-9546. Go right ahead.
Yeah, this is Perry. How you doing, Pastor?
Wonderful. How are you?
All right. I was just wondering, were you aware of the story of the Canary Indians that the Catholic Church tried to evangelize?
Sounds familiar. Give me a little bit more.
Yeah, they're from Venezuela, and they didn't have a word for sin or any conscience of guilt. So after years of trying, they finally found a way. They created a New Testament for them, took out Judas, Pontius Pilate, put the Indians in the place that the Indians laid Christ down on the cross and crucified him. That broke through, and that's how they evangelized. I thought it was insidious.
Oh, okay. I don't know a whole lot about that particular. I've done some study and some research about some of these groups that folks call Indians. We don't like that word. That's an offensive word to those folks, but to the Native Americans and some of the others that I think would be alarming to most folks. It's where we get a lot of our football teams, logos and mascots, like the Redskins, like the Seminoles. Right. A lot of folk don't know that the Redskins are simply the Washita Native Americans. And then it became the Washington Redskins, because really they were black people. And when the white settlers began to sleep with them, they were then called lighter skinned, so they called them Redskins. And so there's a whole lot of stuff we could go on and talk about that, but I appreciate you sharing that. Maybe it's something I should get and look into.
Okay,
hey,
well,
I hope you're getting something out of this.
Panare is how they spell it, and it's on the web. You can find out about it.
Thank you so much, sir.
All right.
By the way, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we're going to begin our study on how the enemy have begun to destroy our lives secretly. We're going to just begin to talk about it. I have no idea where we're going to start. We could start in a lot of places. For those that don't know what places we can start, I could start talking about the things that you have in your house. I could. A lot of you all don't know that the Bible speaks of what's called cursed objects. Most of you all don't know that you own and possess objects that have invited spirits into your house and that are affecting your children. You all don't know that because the preachers don't talk about it. That's not a superstitious folklore fable. That is 100% scriptural, and I can show you over and over where God forbidden us to have certain objects in our possession. Most of them, a lot of them are religious things that we think bring God into our homes. God does not move based on religious amulets, religious tokens, or none of that jewelry, crucifix. One of the most evil things you can have, we're going to talk about it, is a crucifix. And yet you find it in most churches. We could talk about birthstones. The connection that birthstones has to the horoscope, and how reading the horoscope invites demons into your life and brings a curse upon you. I guess before we talk about a curse, we better talk about blessings and curses. Maybe we'll start there tonight. I don't know. Most folks talk about blessings, but they don't talk about curses. How can you believe in the blessing and not believe in the curse when the blessing and curses were created by God and given to us at the same time? I could talk to you about what you have in your homes, the objects. I could sit down and have a conversation with you about the toys that's in your children's toy box, what you're looking at on the internet or the World Wide Web. I talked about how our health is determined by how we feel. I could tell you more about that. We could talk about some of you all who are not able to talk to anybody because you think that people will think you're crazy, and they may. Most of what you all are going through, I already understand it. I know it. I've been trained and sent to deal with it. Some of you all can't sleep at night. Some of you all have had experiences where you felt like you've come out of yourself. Nobody's talking about it. Some of you don't understand that some of you have actually had problems with having sex in your sleep. These are spirits called incubus and succubus. Real sexual oppression, sexual attacks. I need to talk about the occult. The young people that are being duped by the tattoos and the body piercings. What type of trouble that will cause for you demonically. We're going to be talking about this at 1570 and many other topics. North Military Hwy, the Holiday Inn. Tonight at 7:30. That's right. You need to come out. We're going to talk about why we are hooked and have addictions. Why you can't leave somebody alone. They're no good for you, but you feel like you're attached to them and you keep running back. It's called a soul tie. You all have heard us. We've caused a lot of trouble when we told you the truth about tithing. Even though that's not part of that particular teaching, we've told you the truth about how you are not to pay tithes. If y'all go to YouTube, there is a forum that's been loaded that nobody wanted you to see, where I am on a panel with a group of big-time preachers in the state of Virginia, where I take them on live at the Marriott on these issues, on tithing. It's called, just go to YouTube and search Pastor Forum. Pastors Forum, and then put Rob Scarborough. Pastors Forum, Rob Scarborough. It's 2 hours long. Get out your popcorn when you watch this. This is going to get good. The news was there, standing room only audience. You want to go look at it. Look at Pastors Forum, Rob Scarborough. Just search that, and you'll see a 2-hour-long forum where I am going head-to-head with some of the most well-renowned preachers in Virginia. Any questions? I got 3 minutes. Anybody learn anything today? I would like to hear. By the way, let me give you my personal number so you can text me or call me after this program is over. You can text me or call me from my personal number at my personal number at 805-8 804-245-7009. That's 804-245-7009. Go to PastorRobScarborough.com and download any message. We got over 200 titles waiting on you. It'll go straight to your smartphone. You can download them now. Or come out tonight and get them live and in person. Tangible copies, CDs. Meet us there tonight with all your questions. Before we start anything official, we're going to use this time to clean up any missing edges, if you will. So come out tonight and bring all your questions. Bring all your friends and family. We're going to answer your questions about everything we've been talking about on the radio and introduce to you how the devil have gotten into our lives. You don't want to miss it. Any callers? We don't have any. We got about 1 minute left, so we don't have time for any now. If you want to text me or call me, if you're enjoying this show, if I'm not wasting my time by coming to this station, driving all the way here from Richmond, then coming back on Thursday nights, if I'm not wasting my time, text me, talk to me at 804-245-7009. I try to respond to all texts that I can. Text me. Even now, I see people are texting me. But I want to hear from more. Tonight, we'll be at 1570 North Military Highway, the Holiday Inn. For more questions, you can reach me at 804-245-7009. Just got another message in. See you tonight. God bless you. Until next time, it's your favorite pastor's favorite pastor. See y'all tonight.